Hello and welcome to the third episode of the Roost podcast. I'm your host, Bryce.
And I'm your co-host, Luke.
In this episode, we'll be talking about root factions and we'll be ranking them on a tier list. One tier list about how strong the faction is, and the other tier list about how much we enjoy the factions.
And remember, guys, this is all our opinion, all just our opinion, but that does mean it's correct.
We do play in higher count games, so we need to account for that. Some of the factions that are more powerful in lower count games, like Lord of the Hundreds, they don't really shine in our games. Because we play between 4 to 7. Yeah, that's quite a bit. Most of these faction rankings on how much we like them will be probably ranked towards our games. But we do play lower count games time to time. And the power list will be ranked on how much they are in 4-player games. Because that's kind of the root standard. Let's get into it. Our first ranking, Marquise de Cat. What do you think about Marquise de Cat?
I think they're a solid B tier faction, right? They're not great, they're not terrible. At a 4-player count game, yeah, they're not great, not terrible. They start with a lot of board presence, but in the opening parts of the game, they really have to pull back and compress. They're too stretched in the beginning.
Yeah, in the very beginning of the game, you feel like you're just being attacked from every single side. But that's when Marquise de Cat really jump up ahead of the competition. Because the other factions, they kind of grow exponentially. Marquise de Cat, yes, you do grow exponentially. But the price of your buildings also increases with the points. So, yes, you might be getting more points, but it's going to take more time to get those buildings at the end. And at the very end, all the other factions are going to be getting so many points a turn. Some factions are even getting like 10, 15 points a turn. They definitely have a standing en route. They're not a faction you can just come in and push over, especially with their keep mechanics and stuff of them being able to get warriors back when they die and other things like that. Like you can't place things in their keep. But
yeah, I think in all the root games we played, the keep has been taken out once, twice.
Yeah, like once or twice. And that's been by like a full-on push that's destroyed both armies.
Yeah, I think one time I remember it was like a full Eyrie army. It was like half or 3/4 of their, or 2/3, sorry, of their like full miniature count. And they took the keep, but had like 4 survivors.
Yeah. Marquise de Cat, they're a good faction, but near the end of the game, they just can't compete with some of the really high point scoring factions. So, Marquise de Cat, B tier. How do you think they rank on our personal, how much we enjoy the factions?
At a 6-player count game, honestly, I think they go down to a C tier. They just, at that high player count game that we usually play at, they get attacked so much. Like after the first 2 turns, I mean, sometimes even like after setup, they only have 2 or 3 clearings that they actually hold just only their pieces, no other pieces.
Yes, at a 6-player count game, they are kind of unnecessary, but at really, really like low player count games, like 4 and less players, they are almost necessary to fill out board presence.
Yeah, they have so much of that early game presence, having at least something everywhere on the board except for 1 clearing.
And they increase faction interaction so much. Marquise de Cat is my favorite faction to play against. I just love playing against them because you always feel, without Marquise de Cat, the board feels so empty. And you feel like there's so much just real estate that you can just take up, and factions don't even need to compete with each other. But with Marquise de Cat, it kind of draws in all the factions, and then you have to actually fight for territory. I think minimum, Marquise de Cat, A tier. You say C tier? I kind of don't agree with that.
No, Bryce. Remember, this is playing them at our player count.
No, this is just Marquise at the table.
Not playing against.
This is Marquise at the table.
Oh, it's Marquise at the table.
Yeah, Marquise at the table.
I think I can compromise with you for a high B tier.
High B tier?
High B tier,
I,
maybe a low A tier. If you're counting 4 player count games, yes, I'd put them at
yeah,
A
I'm
tier.
just counting like just player count games. I'm putting them in A tier.
Okay. Yeah, 4 player count games. Yeah, I agree with you. It's A tier for that one.
Okay. So next up, Eyrie Dynasty. Have you played much Eyrie Dynasty?
I played it near the beginning, and then Rocco stole it from me.
Yeah, Rocco is our Eyrie main. He plays so much Eyrie Dynasty. When he doesn't, he plays Keepers in Iron, which is
Keepers.
basically the same thing. He did dabble in a bit of Lord of Hundreds, but he does Eyrie. I also play quite
Yeah.
a bit of Eyrie. It's really fun, just constructing that decree. And some people say that you have to choose when to turmoil as Eyrie. I kind of just say don't turmoil at all.
That's fair. On power level though, on power level, they're in a 4 player count game. They are quite good.
I think they're higher
They
than Marquise
really,
de Cat. They really
yeah,
have
I agree.
beside unless you go out of control with the Riverfolk and just give them so much, they have the most action economy in the game.
Yeah,
Besides maybe
yeah,
Riverfolk at max like production capacity and moles when you get all your cards out, they have probably and they have the highest potential. Uh,
I mean, yeah, they have like infant. Their
they have a full
potential is
deck.
the size of the deck.
Combat wise, they're quite good. They have multiple leaders, so you can kind of choose how to like construct your approach to fighting. You could go full on
Yeah,
in with the commander, or you can just like send troops at the problem, just throw more guys at the problem with the charismatic leader. It's just
yeah,
really good. You could also just
yeah. It's.
rack up points with the despot by just targeting lone cardboard.
I mean, I think you also can't ignore that they score points per turn. It's not
Yeah,
one time scoring it. It is points per turn.
it is points per turn. I think the biggest downside for the Eyrie is they're the only faction that can lose points.
That's a pretty big weakness.
Yeah, and their crafting is not great with unless you have the builder, which is very like it's not the greatest of the leaders. I
Uh,
rarely have seen the builder in a game.
I think like once when we were new to Root,
Yeah,
I think just we were trying stuff out, but I don't think we've seen much of the builder.
yeah. It's not worth getting that extra like point when you can just get those points and more with the despot or something similar.
Yeah, I think this is a solid A tier. I
Yeah,
think the losing points and also their lackluster crafting keeps them out of S tier, but
yeah.
they're definitely solid.
I think they're quite good. Where do you think you are in like playing them or playing against them?
Oh, having them at the table,
Yeah,
having a good Eerie player at the table is really annoying. But I think it's a very fun mini game to cooperate everyone at the table to try and force them to turmoil. I think they're quite high.
yeah.
They're very fun to play against.
And also find like trying to get alliances at the table to like not turmoil, work with players to destroy your roost, something like that. I think that's pretty fun. And just the strategy playing against them is also really fun.
Yeah, it's like do you sacrifice territory and then hope that they can't fight and so they turmoil, or do you defend that territory and try and just beat them off militarily?
Yeah. How do you think playing as them? What's that like?
Playing as them, it's definitely fun. It's a you really have to manage your cards.
Yeah.
I think the Riverfolk Company can be a very valuable ally, but can also turn into a parasite quite quickly. I think you did that to Ethan, right? You were the Riverfolk Company,
Yeah.
and you were just like they relied on you.
And if they get too close to winning, you can kind of just pull the plug.
Yeah, and then they turmoil and lose like half their points.
As the Yuri, the biggest thing, I think it's like a programmer's dream. You got to think ahead.
Yeah,
I really love playing as the Erie because I just feel like if I lose, it's on me. I could do all this stuff, but I really need to think about how other factions can harm my decree. And that's kind of the thing. The troops on the board, that's not really the problem. It's kind of the decree that you have to worry about. And I love that.
Yeah,
I think I like sacrificing my guys for the greater good and then just winning the game.
the
And
quote
at their
greater
peak,
good.
at their peak, their point scoring is quite good. 5 points a turn, plus all
Yeah,
the
plus
combat stuff.
yeah, whatever you break.
Yeah, it does get beat out by some factions, but at that anything higher than that is really hard to beat.
I mean, 5 points just per turn. I think the moles can beat that. The moles total is like
So
let's
much.
see,
It's like 11.
3, 6. It's 8, I think, per turn passively. Well, not including the banker.
Passive income is always nice.
I think overall, I think it's a really tough decision where to put these guys. It's either a high A tier, like a very high A tier, like the very tip top of A tier, or S tier. Um, I think it's a really hard decision, but I think I have to put them in S tier. Just the mini game mechanics of having to try everyone else at the table working together
Yeah,
to try and get them to
I love
turmoil.
Eyrie. I'll put him in S tier. I love Eyrie so much. There, if Lizard Cult wasn't my main, Eyrie would be.
mm.
All right, next faction. We have the Woodland Alliance. Luke, I
Oh,
know
they're
you
so
like the
strong.
Woodland Alliance. I don't. Playing as them's fine, but like,
I mean, even if you don't like, I okay, personally, I play them a lot. Um, Bryce knows that I do play these guys a lot.
if
I
Luke
think
made the
they are,
faction, it would be Woodland Alliance.
yeah, yeah. I don't, yeah. I've been trying to, I try all factions, but I always come back to the Moles and then the Woodland Alliance. I think they're really powerful.
Yeah,
I I've gotten a lot of my wins with Woodland Alliance.
at peaks point scoring, like, it's just so much. And when you
Yeah,
get up to that much point scoring, you're getting so many like cards of people trying to set you back. And if you get your like tokens and sympathy distributed throughout the right clearings, you can get so many outrage cards, and that just increases your points capability through the roof. What a lot of players forget about is martial law, and I like reminding players like Woodland Alliance players that are trying to go off too much. Like RGT forgets
uh,
about martial law so much.
he happens to forget a lot of rules.
Yeah. He always is like, "What? I didn't know rule was a thing." It's like that's like the base rule of the game.
No, I think I have managed to score 15 points in one turn, and that was immaculate, going from like 15 to points to just straight winning.
Yeah, it's so much.
Yeah, I think these guys are an easy S tier. Just the potential for point scoring,
Yeah, they're
and
so good.
you, you can never manage to gather enough people to like stamp out their sympathy. And even if you stamp out their sympathy, you're just giving them more cards to beat you with.
Yeah, I feel like the more people who try to fight this faction, the worse they get. You really have to assign like one designated Woodland Alliance killer, and it's still
And
really hard.
like the person who's designated to do that doesn't want to do that because whoever's the designated Woodland Alliance killer isn't going to win the game.
Yeah.
They're just going to prevent the Woodland Alliance from winning the game as well.
There's really only like two good counters to that, and it's Lord of Hundreds who just have anything. They can just kind of destroy stuff with
Oh,
their
that's
mobs,
yeah.
and probably Vagabond, but Vagabond counters everything.
Yeah, Vagabond counters everything.
Yeah, that's an easy S tier. They really
Yeah, if you want to put it now, there's no discussion. It's an S tier.
yeah. All right, playing as them or against them. I really don't like
uh,
playing against them. They're so good. I mean, it's a fun
yeah,
challenge.
I love playing as them, which is why I played as them a lot. But playing against them it feels like you're dead if you do, dead if you don't. Like if you don't kill their sympathy, they're gonna win the game. You kill the sympathy, they're gonna win the game. It feels unfair.
They're a lot like the
Um,
Lizard Cult, except Lizard
yeah,
Cult has a
except
lot
you,
more
you
counters.
yeah, you hype up the Lizard Cult. For the first like 3 games of you playing Lizard Cult, no one attacked you ever
I
because
wouldn't I
everyone
wouldn't
was
say
so
three. I'd say
scared.
more like eight.
Yeah, fair enough. Like if everyone was so scared of
Yeah, the thing,
breaking.
the but we'll talk about Lizard Cult later. The thing
Yeah,
is,
yeah. Later on.
Woodland Alliance, I really don't like playing as them. Like they're really, really good, but I love Root because you can just have so many guys on the board and have so much presence. And it's all about the political. I love the table talk of Root, but these guys they don't really have to table talk to win. They kind of just they win through sheer like mechanics, and they're they have so many annoying like gotcha features, you know? Like
Yeah,
you try to attack
guerrilla
them,
warfare.
guerrilla warfare just like destroys you. You try to like just walk through a clearing to get somewhere, and they're like, "No, we actually have a toll post there," and I'm just like, "Oh my goodness, I hate this faction."
Yeah, I think you have to do like the table talk that you do have to do with them is just basically telling all the other factions to like get bent.
The one thing I love about this faction is beating them.
That's fair. That's satisfying.
Yeah, it's really satisfying beating them. On the table, I know you'll put them in like A or S tier. I put them in like B or C tier.
No. I can playing against them feels like an unwinnable challenge. So I'm very happy to compromise and put them in B tier.
Yeah. All right. Vagabond.
S
Vagabond.
tier. Just put top of S tier. Make its own tier. You can make your own tiers on here, right? Oh, it gets its own tier.
No, I think they're not as good as Keepers in Iron.
Fair enough.
I like
Fair
Keepers
enough.
in
But
Iron.
still high S tier. High S tier.
I'll
Put
put them
them
in
put
high
them
S
up
tier.
there. No discussion.
Yeah, a good Vagabond like when a faction needs like when a whole thing about the faction is you is the other teams need to constantly make sure that you can't do anything. That's just a good faction. And you can't get rid of their board presence because they just spend a turn and then come back and score more points in one turn than you can score in like 12. It's an exaggeration, but it's kind of true.
I mean, depending on which 12 turns.
Yeah. They have so many play styles too. They have so many different types of vagabonds that can just do anything. Scoundrel is so annoying. There's so many annoying vagabonds. This is like
I
the
mean,
king of I'm just gonna do whatever I want and still win the game. They literally score points through anything.
yeah, they can, and even if you manage to shut down the specific type of vagabond that they picked, the just overall class of the vagabond, ignoring their like specific features for which subclass you pick, can still win you the game, even without using your like character ability. I
Still.
mean, you know they're an overpowered faction when we, in general, have to ban them at our table. Again, that's a very hard in general.
Generally we don't ban them, just people don't play them. The only people who will play them is like Arjun, but Arjun like literally just plays to win at all costs, and he doesn't most of the time. Arjun, I know you're
Yeah,
listening to this. We love you, but
yeah, he will watch this.
shout out Giraffe clips. Not actually, don't go watch his stuff. All
Add
right.
music and then we'll talk.
Yeah, put music on your videos, Arjun. Vagabond, playing as them or against them.
I think they have to go in. For me personally, I'm gonna just chuck my opinion out. They're C tier, strictly
C tier.
because playing against them is F tier, playing as them is S tier. So you have to average them.
No, I don't think playing as them is S tier. Playing as them is S tier if you're like Arjun, who literally just gets satisfaction out of like Arjun cheats in half of the games. I'm just gonna say that at all costs of winning. Like playing as them, I think is like B tier because it's not too much of a challenge. Like Root is really fun because it's like somewhat challenging, but playing as them is not challenging at all. I'd put them at like maximum D tier. Not gonna lie.
For, to have them at the table, you put them at maximum D tier.
Yeah,
Ooh, I think that's a bit harsh. I can agree with you that like it's not really that big of a challenge, but like sometimes you want that. Sometimes you just want to like
oh yeah,
chillax and still win.
second game or like third game of Root. First two games I played Marquise de Cat. I think I actually won like both games. I actually smoked my competition. They were not good.
Bruh,
I'm just joking.
bruh. I'm pretty sure I won the first game.
No, I actually won the
No,
first game.
no, no. Arjun did with Vagabond.
No, he didn't actually win. I beat him as Marquise. He won the second game when he implemented the like points per
Points per
turn
turn.
on trading.
Yeah, which is not how it works for anyone who's
Yeah,
wondering. That is not.
we can put it in the lowest of the low of C tier. Should be over here.
Okay, yeah.
Right. Riverfolk Company. Okay, what do we think of these guys?
I mean, I think this very strictly depends on the table. Um, Depending on like how long that you've owned this expansion and how many player count. If we go up 4 player count, I think it's about the same about the same as the Marquise, like approximately
Yeah,
at 4
I
player
think four
count.
play. It really depends on the table. Because our table,
Yeah,
we love our Riverfolk players. We love trading with them, and then we are always so surprised when they just win. But
for like no reason. It's like here, take all my money. Take it. You can use it to beat me with. And then wait, what? You're beating me with it?
yeah, I love Riverfolk. Playing as them is so fun, so rewarding. Just getting trades off, that's like the most satisfying thing in the world. And it's just so fun. Like I love
Yeah,
playing as them. And they're good
yeah.
too. Like if people trade with you, they'd probably be like an S tier faction. But just because it depends on the other players at the board. Because the thing with Riverfolk is this. If one player trades with you, that one player is gonna win. So everyone has to trade with you to keep up with that one player. But then everyone trades with you so you win.
Yeah, that's the logical response.
So just no one trades with you. And for
Then you
that,
get your
it could fluctuate between F and S tier, so it'll have to go in like a high B.
yeah, I think yeah. Plus this is our opinion and our opinions are correct and we play it. Our table loves the river folk, so yeah, I think they can get
Yeah,
bumped up to a solid B tier.
yeah. Our table loves Riverfolk. Playing as Riverfolk or having them as the table. I love it. I'd put
I
them in
love it. I
S.
love it. S tier.
S tier. Higher or lower than Eyrie
higher
Dynasty.
higher than the marquee than the Eyrie.
I love Riverfolk so much.
So fun.
Playing as them, so fun. Getting trades off is like the best thing you'll ever do. Playing against them, so fun. You literally can just buy stuff, buy services. If you don't want to trade with them, just don't. And no one will. And it's still fun.
Yeah, it's really fun to have them at the table.
10 out
There's
of
like
10
no
faction.
downside to having them at the table at all.
Yeah, it's a 10 out of 10.
Yeah, 10 out of 10 would play again.
Yeah. Okay. Best faction in the game.
F tier, F tier. Put it in F tier. Not for this category. For the have at the table category. You're too
What?
good, Bryce.
Okay, so Lizard Cult. Lizard Cult are actually kind of bad unless you play them really, really well. If you're really good at table talk, they can be like an
Yeah,
A tier. But
yeah, Bryce.
the secret with the Lizard Cult is you have to hype up hype up the fact that if you attack them, they're just gonna screw you over. So you
When in
accumulate a
reality,
lot of acolytes, and then when someone attacks you, you completely demolish them, turning all of their buildings into gardens, all of their warriors into your guys. But you can't do it again. But you don't let the rest of your table know that.
yeah, you really kept it a secret for the first quite a few games.
And even now, it
And
still
then
kind of works. Like,
it does still work
yeah,
because I think not enough people have played it. I think 3 or 4
the
people have played it.
the
You,
difficulty with this
me,
faction is you have to get really good at them. I think people say that the hardest faction to play in the game is Keepers in Iron, but I really think it's Lizard Cult. And anytime a player tries to play Lizard Cult, they play them and get absolutely smoked. They score like a few points per turn. one of the times we had my friend Christian. He was visiting us from America, and Christian he didn't play a lot of Root. This is like his third game ever of Root. He tries Lizard Cult, and he didn't read the part of the faction that says you have to discard to down to 5 cards every turn. So at the end of the game, he was playing with half the deck, and somehow he was still losing.
It's just half the deck in hand cards.
We were like, "Where's the
Oh.
deck?" And we looked over at Christian, and it was like, "I'll put up on the screen, but do this or draw 25."
Discard down to 5 cards at the end of your turn, or draw 25.
Yeah, Lizard Cult is really hard. And a lot of players who try Lizard Cult, they don't score a lot of points, so they think Lizard Cult's really weak. So someone good at Lizard Cult can display themselves as weak and then just win the game. But because they're really hard, I think I'd put them in C tier on power.
Yeah, on the
On
very
power,
fact that they're
actually, D tier. It's really hard.
yeah.
This is not me trying to influence my group that they're a bad faction so I can win next game.
Sure.
In fact, we might
Just
move them down to F tier.
Just
Just kidding. D
Don't get
tier.
too hasty there, Bryce.
All right. Now, how fun they are to play against and to play as. What do you think?
Okay. Personally, I don't feel qualified to say how fun they are to play because I played like 1 or 2 games of them, and as we've said, they're hard to learn to play. So I've just got crushed in both those games.
Yeah.
Um,
This
and
will
with
happen also with Corvid Conspiracy. The difference is Corvid Conspiracy is really easy to learn, but it's hard to win with.
yeah, I think you're the only one that's won with Corvid Conspiracy.
Yeah, multiple times by like 13 points.
I don't know how you have that good table talk. Your table talk is just next level.
Yeah, it's really good. All right, I think I'd put them in a. I know a lot of people hate them. I think I put them in B tier, above Woodland Alliance.
No. I think depends on the player. If you're playing it, then no. Put it down further. But I think like as an average, yeah, I think slightly above
Woodland Alliance.
Slightly, ever so slightly,
Pretty
but
high.
not by much.
Pretty highly. In fact, they might go in S tier, but
No.
all right. Now, Underground Duchy. I actually love Underground Duchy. They're really fun.
Yeah, they're fun.
If Woodland Alliance was probably not your main, then Duchy would be. You played probably the same games with Duchy.
Duchy, I think at our table, they have there's a active meme at our table to just genocide
We're doing a
the
sequel.
moles.
We're backed by popular demand. Yeah,
Just
we genocide
because
the Duchy every single time. It's
the
not even
first-
funny.
just simply because one time I was playing it and they almost genocided me, but they left one dude as a survivor and didn't realize that that one dude nicknamed Ken was actually helping me get ministers back. And when Bryce realized that I was still getting ministers somehow, he was like, "Wait, what? How are you doing that?" I'm like, "Oh yeah, Ken is allowing me to play an extra card because he's a duchy piece." He died very quickly after that.
Yeah, Ken doomed the rest of Duchy for all time. Because now if I see a lone Duchy, I'm taking it out. But Duchy,
sorry,
yeah,
Ken.
they're really fun. I love playing as Duchy, and they're good. They start off with probably the lowest action economy in the game, but they can finish with like highest only next to Prime, Riverfolk, and Eyrie Dynasty. They're really good.
If they
The
get
only
their-
thing that's
if they get all
probably
their ministers.
they have against them is the ministers and their price of failure. Price of failure is like pretty bad. You have to really
It's
defend
rough.
your clearings. Otherwise, you can
and in-
lose your best ministers and your main point scoring mechanics.
Yeah, and particularly in Root, it's really advantageous for the dice rolls to be on the attack Because
Yeah.
as the defender, the absolute best you can do is trade 1-for-1 with the attacker, but that usually doesn't happen.
Yeah. But they do have a really good military and probably the best recruiting in the game once they have all their citadels out.
Yeah, they get six
Yeah,
six guys
six
per
per
turn.
turn that can pop up anywhere on the board is really, really good.
Yeah, they can drop forces wherever.
Yeah. And they have quite a few battles when you have that many people out.
Yeah, I think let's see. They have a maximum of like six, I think.
I don't know, yeah, six. Copying a
Six.
squire, the squire that lets you battle
Exactly.
the commander, and then your two basic actions. It's really,
Yeah.
really strong. I think I'd put them in A behind Eyrie Dynasty.
Yeah, particularly at our table where 80% of the games that they're in they get genocided.
They're still pretty strong at higher player counts because duchies, their really good thing is they can just establish a few clearings that are theirs, and they're pretty good at defending it because they have that many troops and and they're able to replenish those troops even if like 12 of them die. All right.
Yeah, and you don't lose 12 troops very often.
Yeah. The only thing that might beat it out in recruiting is Eyrie Dynasty with the charismatic leader. But if you're recruiting that many with the Eyrie Dynasty, you have a really high chance of turmoil.
I mean, maybe the cats if you have like all of their recruitment
Yeah,
and you
but
just recruit 3 times.
still, it's not quite like yeah. No, you can only recruit once per turn. That's cats.
Oh, yeah.
All right. How
That's like
fun it is
5, I
to
think.
play as them and against them. Against them, it's pretty fun. I like having another big like militant force, especially as like Eyrie Dynasty. If you want a lot of your guys to die, so you can make your decree requirement, just attack them because they're not gonna go out. Like they're not gonna lose that many guys, and they're not gonna be too angry at you. Like you can just say, "This is for my decree." You replenish your troops next turn, anyways.
Yeah. Sorry, but it was mandatory.
Yeah, that's
Um,
kind of the Eerie Dynasty thing. Is sorry, but it was mandatory.
I think to play as them or to play against them, I mean, it's always fun to try and just completely wipe someone out.
And there's someone that you can like. Cats are the only one that can be like fully board wiped. But when these guys do get board wiped, it still feels like you accomplished something because there's nothing on the board. They have stuff in their little underground burrow, but they cannot really like replenish after that complete board wipe.
Yeah, I mean, after the complete board wipe, they're getting one dude per turn. So in like 4 turns, they can pop out of a random hole in the ground with 4 dudes.
Yeah. It's really satisfying to play against them. And playing as them, it's so fun. Recruiting ministers and all that. I love placing the little crowns on the on the guys while they're sitting around.
Even if they fall over so easily.
Yeah. Playing as them is so fun. I think it's probably more fun than like Marquise or something like that. I think I put them in
Yeah,
highest of A tier.
yeah, I can
Yeah.
agree to that.
Corvid Conspiracy.
Corvids.
They're the easiest faction to learn. If you're gonna give new players a faction, definitely give them Corvid Conspiracy. Because if you give them Marquise de Cat is probably like the new player faction, but I don't think it's like the best for new players. Because Marquise de Cat, when you first like start the game, yes, their main thing is like easy, but you're gonna feel like you're being swarmed on every single side. It's just gonna be really, really overwhelming. Because Marquise de Cat, you're not really in control. Corvid Conspiracies, I think you are in control of everything you do. And if people try to attack you, there's kind of a deterrence in embedded agents. The thing is, their point scoring isn't very high. If
Yeah,
you if you're
they're
able to get
it's
off
not
like a
good.
chain of plots, it can go up and up, but there is like a cap. And at and the thing is their plots are their main scoring, and plots you can just guess quite easily. You can just is that a riot or is that a raid? If it's not, I'm just gonna destroy your one guy because they don't have too many people, and it's pretty easy to counter.
Yeah, you need I think there are 2 strategies. You either like thoroughly defend one plot, or you have like four different plots going on at any given time, so they can't take them all out. But especially at our high player count games, if every faction just takes out one plot, then that's four plots gone.
Yeah, and getting that many plots out is really hard because you can get one plot out and then it costs so much to go past that. Because it costs one
Yeah,
for the first one, and then it costs two because you still need one to be left over, and then it just goes exponentially. So like two, three, four, it really gets out of hand. And at that point, once you're doing that much, there's not really any guys to defend the plots, and it just gets really really hard to get plots and then score points from that.
yeah. I mean, really, the maximum plots you could put out in one turn is like at the very most you could put out three. At the very most.
Yeah.
They're not that strong. They're I think D tier.
What do we think playing as them? I've only played a
They're
few
fun to
games as
play.
them. I've played 2 games as them, and they're pretty fun to play. Yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah. They're not good, but like it's fun to just, oh, am I gonna put a bomb or a snare or a raid?
But the thing is, they're really predictable because there's one like just better than the other option, and
Yeah, for any scenario.
it's really easy to guess them. Yeah, I'll put
But it
them.
feels
I don't know. I feel like they're fun to play against because like I mean they're annoying to an extent, but also like they're not really a threat. But they're still fun to have like a different faction to fight up against that you don't like have to worry about too much. Playing as them is kind of like my favorite part about them is giving them to new players because they're very easy to learn and understand. And the greatest part about this faction is there's nothing on their board. You can just pick it up and like look at it.
yeah, it's great. Many a time I've set up my board as the moles
Yeah.
and then realized, wait, how many pieces do I start with again?
Yeah, the
And have to
lizard
take
cult
everything
or
off.
cat gambit is setting up everything on your board, all your buildings, and then having to flip over your board or
Oh,
or put your board as high up so you can look under it and try not to spill all your pieces on the floor.
yeah, remember when Ethan did that and we were all trying to like blow the buildings off of his board?
Yeah, it happens every time someone plays one of those factions. It's so fun. It's
Uh,
just a thing that comes with playing Root, I think.
yeah, it's like oh well.
Yeah. I think I put them in they have to go above the Vagabond. I think I put them in B tier.
Really? I think they're more fun to have at the table than I think they go in A tier.
I think I put them at the top of B tier above these
Okay.
guys.
I would put them at the bottom of A tier, so I can
Yeah,
compromise with you
yeah,
there.
that's understandable. Next up, these guys they go in top of S. I think they're
Yeah.
so strong. I once did a challenge run against Arjun. It was a 3-player game. I once tried to score 30 points in one turn. I mean, Arjun won, and he like hangs it over my head as I beat you in Root. I'm like Arjun. I was challenge running you.
Uh, how close did you get? Like, if you had scored all points possible on the last turn before Arjun won the game, how many points would you have
I think
scored?
I had like 32. I just couldn't put them in the way stations. I think I had like every single relic and then I would have destroyed a few of his pieces that turn too. I was like one turn
uh,
away, but then he beat
one
me up.
turn away.
Yeah, they're really strong. Rocco was once playing the Eyrie Dynasties, or the no, he was playing Lord of Hundreds, and he was at like 28, 29 points, and I was at like 14 points and won the game. They're
Yeah,
so strong.
they're absurdly strong.
And they're really hard to counter. There was one game where again Rocco really hates these guys, especially because he's played them and gotten so close to winning and then got got beaten at the very, very last turn.
Uh,
Yeah, but these guys, you can try to stop them, but the thing is, they travel in such big groups that they kind of just have rule wherever they go. So Rocco tried to set up a blockade, like, because he's like, okay,
oh,
they're
I
up
remember that.
north, and they have to kill all my guys to get south where the ruins are. And these guys just marched through his guys, not battling any of them, and just collected the ruins and went back up north
I
to
think
the way stations.
I think that was the same game that I found like the only somewhat effective counter to them, and it's very situational. It was with
Yeah, the Corvid
the
Conspiracy and
the
snaring
Corvid
them.
Conspiracy. Yeah, I snared like 5-year guys, and there was no relics you could collect, so you couldn't battle me.
No, no, you can still battle. You can still battle. I just like it's not worth your resources. Yeah, you can still
They're
battle them.
so
It's just
good.
not worth your resources, and you can't recruit in that clearing because that requires placing guys. Yeah, some people will say Vagabond's stronger, but I'd say they're stronger. It's like
I
a.
think Arjun just says that.
Oh, also, a lot of people say they're really hard to play. I don't find that. I think they're like moderately hard to play. They're harder than most other factions, but they're not as hard as Lizard Cult. Yeah. What do you think?
I don't think I can speak to that. I think I've only played them once. I don't feel qualified saying
Yeah, but you
whether they're
scored more points
difficult.
than you played when you played the Lizard Cult.
Okay, yeah, that's fair.
You got kind of close to winning. But you do have to actually plan ahead with this faction. You have to actually like it takes a fair amount of skill.
Yeah,
Unlike
it's
the
not a
Vagabond.
no-brain faction.
Unlike the Vagabond. So if it was like on how easy to win with, I think Vagabond would be higher, but how good the faction is, I wouldn't say. I'd say Vagabond's less as good. Playing
Yeah,
against
this is
them or as them.
slightly different.
Playing as them is so fun. Playing against them, I don't know. I feel playing against them, like winning against them, is not fun. But playing against them, just playing, I think that's fine. Like I enjoy it.
Yeah, it's like a nearly unstoppable army is marching across the map, and
Yeah,
there's like you can do stuff about it if you like divert your entire faction to it for a turn or two.
yeah. I don't know. I feel like these guys, even without armor, like for one, we haven't talked about armor yet. That's like really good and really fun. But even without armor, these guys still feel stronger than the rest of the root
It's
factions. I don't know why, but they do feel stronger. Is it just me?
I mean they're definitely more intimidating, I think, than a good chunk of the other.
Yeah, their meeples are also slightly bigger, like just ever so slightly.
I think I don't know.
I think I'd put them in B
Just have
tier,
at the table.
bottom of B tier. Actually, I think I'd put them next to I think I put them
Yeah,
above Lizard Golden. They're pretty fun.
yeah, I think they're quite fun to have at the
They're not
table.
fun to win against because they're probably going to win, but they're fun to play against.
Yeah, they are
Unlike
fun
the
to play against.
Vagabond, which is not fun to win against and not fun to play against, but pretty fun to play as.
Yeah,
All right. Next up, Arjun's favorite faction, even though he's never won a game with them. Unless it's me challenge running the. Every time I say Arjun, you've never played it, you've never won a game as him. He brings up the game where I challenge ran him with the keepers in iron.
uh, the also the second faction that we have a genocide warrant for, just
Well, no,
constantly
that's
every single game.
no, we don't genocide them. They genocide themselves generally, because Arjun plays them a lot, and he kind of just tries to fight everyone. He doesn't try to build up his army and then fight. He just straight up, right off the gun, he just tries to fight everyone.
Yeah, that's fair. But
Low player
they
count
still
games.
end up getting genocided.
Low player count games are an S tier. Higher player count games, they could be like an F tier. It kind of
Yeah,
depends. But like 4 player games, I think they're like a B or C tier. They're pretty good. Their warlord is really good. I love having the warlord. I think like having the warlord as like a boss character, it's fun, and he just comes back. Swapping through your moods is really really fun. Just gonna say that.
yeah.
All right. So what do you think? C tier or B tier?
I think the Riverfolk just outclasses them.
Yeah,
I think we have to put them in C tier just because of like Riverfolk are in a different class of being good.
yeah. And I also like to say like there's no F tier factions in Root, maybe besides Twilight Council. Just because okay, Twilight
Pre-release,
Council as of
pre-release.
when we played them a month or two ago. Now
Yeah,
they might be good, but I'm not printing them out again.
not until they fully release.
Or not maybe we might play a game before I leave.
Yeah, yeah, maybe.
Lord of Hundreds, what do you think playing against them, playing as them? Playing as them is pretty fun. I really like accumulating the horde and like having to go between having less moods but having more action economy. Also, it's kind of like
Mm,
Eyrie Dynasty where you have to, unlike swapping through different leaders, you're swapping through different moods, which is basically the same thing, and that's pretty fun. There's a lot of variability into how these guys play, but it's always aggressive.
yeah, I think to play against them, I'm not usually the one to have to like genocide them, but I feel like it's not that fun just because they have impact. At least how Arjun plays them, they have impact for like the first 2 or 3 turns, and then they just kind of go away.
Yeah, well, they literally go away because Arshan gets fed up of playing them, and then he goes to swap to Vagabond with 3 turns behind, and still like gets close to winning because it's Vagabond.
Yeah,
He literally just withdraws from the game and re-enters his Vagabond at 0 points.
he just relogs.
Yeah, I mean they're all right. I'd say they're like higher than Vagabond C tier.
Yeah, yeah, they're higher than Vagabond. They're better than Vagabond to have at the table.
Yeah, that's not hard though.
That's fair.
Maybe
Pretty
besides
easy ask.
Twilight Council just looming there.
Just you shall not fight.
I hate to play as you. I hate to play against you. Because no one understands you. Okay.
Yeah, it's
The
yeah.
most played out of the new factions at our table. We've played them a good, like, 6 times.
Yeah,
Or maybe
that's
more. Like, to
mm,
be honest, they're actually kind of like a normal faction at our table now. They might have more play time than the Lizard Gold.
yeah, actually yeah, I think that's true.
If it wasn't for me, they might not have as much playtime as Lizard Cult because a lot of people have experimented by playing that Lizard Cult, and they've just Lizard Cult have been the Riverfolk expansion was the second expansion that we got, so they've just been around so long compared to the Frogs, which came out like a few months ago.
Yeah. But
Yeah,
how good are they?
I think they're very good. I think they're an A tier faction. Not gonna lie.
I think I have not been in a game with them for a long time.
Yeah, we haven't played them in a long time,
I
but
think the last game that I had like played against them was a new player playing them and they got stomped.
recalling playing them and playing against them, they're quite good at just sneaking into clearings and putting up peaceful tokens. And then when you do have to go violent, you can just swap back to peaceful very quickly. Just for
Yeah.
context, we might be playing an outdated version. I know they updated the print and play. I just haven't been bothered to print out the new version.
Yeah, not worth the printer ink.
Yeah. But as of the version we're playing, I think they're like a solid A tier, like bottom of A tier faction. They're definitely
I
better
mean,
than
yeah.
Marquise.
I can see like they're very good at sneaking into a place and then it's very hard to get them out of that place.
Yeah. And frog cards are actually pretty fun. Like they're pretty good.
Yeah, it's a nice mechanic.
Yeah, frog cards are like they counter them, but also oh, what Rocco did? Rocco actually put a top tier play. He put frog cards into his decree as Eyrie, and then worked with the frogs to expand them so he could kind of just treat frog cards as bird cards without the downside.
Oh,
That was actually really smart of him.
that yeah, that's it's a good play.
Yeah, it's a good play. Okay, playing against them or as them. I don't know. These three factions are gonna be hard.
Yeah,
Hard to
it's gonna be
understand.
just they don't have that much playtime.
Yeah.
Honestly, I don't. Whenever I'm playing against them, I don't notice their influence that much. It's kind of like the occasional
Yeah, but that's what
frog
you want.
card.
You want this faction is kind of like a you want to create table talk with like one or two of the players, but avoid the players that would want to like fight you.
You're saying I'm combative, Bryce?
Yeah, generally. I think the ones that you've played this, you've been playing like moles and stuff.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
Um,
Playing as
yeah, I
them
don't know.
is quite fun. Playing against them, I think it's still quite fun. I think it goes in bottom of
Yeah.
A tier behind Marquise.
Okay.
I think it's more fun than Corvid Conspiracy. Not as fun as
Have at the
Marquise.
table. Yeah, I think I think that personally, I think that's a bit high, but yeah, I can see it.
I'm also trying to make B tier not like a mile long.
Massive. That's fair. Let's divide it out a bit.
Kind of a bell shaped distribution.
Let's try have a normal distribution.
All right. These guys,
Uh, I think they've been in like 2 games at least that
we played
I've
them like
played.
twice, and then I took the cardboard from that and turned it into the Knaves of the Deepwood. These guys aren't very good, mainly because no one understands them, but I think
Yeah,
also because they're not very good as of when we played them. I think F tier.
I think didn't they get like rewritten right before you printed it? So you learned how to play them as
Oh yeah,
one thing, and then they completely rewrote it like right before you printed them.
I watched. If you haven't checked it out, check it out. It's a really fun let's play video. Lord of the Board. He played a completely like different version of these guys, and they actually looked like really fun. But then when I went to go to like print and play and print them out, they were nothing like Lord of the Board video. So I was like explaining the mechanics to everyone like from the Lord of the Board video, but then I never
I
understood
think
anything in this video. So
I think I
I
think I
mean,
was the first one to play them.
yeah. And I was trying to do like stuff that he did, like or that people did to counter you, or like, but it just didn't work. And you didn't
Yeah.
win either or get close to winning.
No.
It was kind of
No, I
like,
didn't.
yeah, it was kind of weird. I don't like them. But there's a reason
Yeah, I
that
don't.
the developers have
Uh,
said Names of the Deepwood were pretty much done. Frogs were like 100% done. These guys, we need a lot more time to get them done.
yeah, I feel like changing the a core mechanic of the game, the battling mechanic, you really have to play test that to get that feeling
Yeah.
good.
Because that's been there from day one. It's not like a new mechanic. This is like the mechanic in Root, besides like
Yeah.
rule and stuff. And yeah, changing that, it's gonna be hard to change it without making it like change it with impact. Because changing it is kind of like it's like a novel change. Like you don't know. Yeah, I think
Didn't
it's an F
understand a
tier.
thing.
Playing as them F tier. Playing against them F tier because you have to understand their
Yeah.
mechanics. Yeah, they're
No one
really
had
hard.
any clue what they were doing.
They put in edicts, but like I didn't think they really did anything too different. They changed the battling mechanic or the convening mechanic, but no one really used that anyways. So
I think we used it once, and it was at least the version we played. It was basically the same as normal battling, but you could use cards to
to like
increase or
reroll.
decrease the value.
Oh yeah, it wasn't reroll. It was like increase or decrease.
Yeah, it was like it was too similar to normal battling.
It was literally just battling, like. But I guess you couldn't ambush, which is kind of fun. I
Yeah,
like ambushing, especially like
yeah.
preventing ambushing. Yeah, I think it's an F
And I
tier.
feel like at least again the version we played, it heavily favored um factions that had lots of cards,
Yeah,
like
lots of
like
card draw factions.
yeah, the like heavy card dominant factions that because they could just add so much to their roll and decrease your roll by so much
Yeah.
that they would always win.
Yeah, like otters. Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
they just win. All right. Lastly, Knaves of the Deepwood. We've played. This might even be played less than Twilight Council.
Really? I remember like 2 games of Twilight Council. Actually, but I remember 0 games of Knaves of the Deepwood.
Yeah, we played I think one game of Knaves of the Deepwood, and Brandon played as Knaves. Brandon's a new player. Actually, he just got his first 2 wins of Root. Congratulations,
Yeah.
as the Riverfolk.
Shout out to
Yeah, shout
Brandon.
out Brandon. He's actually getting really good at Riverfolk.
Yeah, I
Um,
mean,
yeah, but he wasn't great at Knaves of the Deepwood. I think they could be a lot better. They're really, really good on the board, but I think their point scoring is where it falls short. They can be the most militant faction besides like insanely Otterball. I think they can be the most militant faction. They have so much board presence, they have so much combat potential, but their point scoring falls so short. They just can't score points as
I
of
mean,
when we
I
played.
I feel like I find that a bit hard to believe, considering that it is 3 Vagabond.
Yeah, but
I think
vagabonds can score points through anything. These guys have to kidnap guys to score points. And then,
uh
because they don't just score points through the same vagabond mechanics. Yes, it's 3 vagabonds. They have similar vagabond actions, but it's not actually like 3 vagabonds, you know? It's very different point scoring. I think I
I
put them
feel
in
like that
like
was
C tier.
okay. Yeah, I feel like that was a purposeful change because having 3 Vagabonds means you have so much combat presence,
Yeah,
like
having
three
3 vagabonds
Vagabonds
is just
and an
not fun.
army.
And finally, how it is to play against them or with them. I don't know. I feel like it's
Put it where
worse
you
than
want, because
Vagabond.
I don't know.
Because playing against them is as bad as playing against Vagabond. But playing as them is not as fun. I think I put them in like D tier. Or maybe like equal to that. I think I'd put them same tier as Vagabond.
All right. I again, I don't feel
Yeah,
I can say anything on this,
you haven't
considering I
played
haven't
them.
been in a game with them.
Alright, so what do you think of our 2 lists? Would you change anything for this
I
list?
feel like you can see the distribution on the power list. It's like they all have about the same number, but then for the fun to play list, it's a normal-ish distribution.
Yeah, and maybe besides these guys, besides Twilight Council. Trust me, root factions are all so fun to play. Like go out,
Yeah,
try every
like
faction. You can get a win with every faction. Even if they're the worst faction on this tier list, F tier, you can get a win with them pretty frequently if you're good at the game. And
yeah,
and
I
it's
feel like
fun. And it's fun to try and learn new factions.
yeah, that is a I mean a core element of root, or you can pick a different faction.
Yeah, the
So
asymmetry.
yeah, it's fun to learn new factions. I feel like Twilight Council, the early access, the print and play version that we played, is hopefully going to be very different to the version that does get printed.
Yeah.
Um, and I think they could. I feel like they have a good idea,
Later
but
games knows what they're doing. They're I think I trust them. I trust them with what
yeah,
they're gonna do with Twilight Council.
I trust them to make good factions. I mean, they've done it plenty of times before.
Yeah, this might say C tier, but compared to other games, I think most of these factions are A and S tier. Like Root is just it's just that hard to make like good Root factions compared to the other ones because they're all good.
Yeah, they're all so fun to play.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you for watching our video on Root factions and their tier lists and power levels. All right. See you next time. Bye.
Thank you and goodbye.